What if a simple penny in your pocket is actually worth a fortune? From the modern 2009 Lincoln pennies with special designs, to the regular Lincoln Memorial cents, and the classic wheat pennies, every coin has its own story. Some become valuable because of rare errors, mint marks, or perfect condition, things most people never notice. Even the smallest penny can turn into a big discovery if you know what to look for. So always check your change carefully, you might be holding a hidden treasure. And this is brought to you by Coins History. Top 1. What if I told you that a single penny, something most people ignore or even leave behind, could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars? It sounds unbelievable, but the truth is, some of the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, and the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D mint mark is one of those surprising discoveries. In 2009, the United States released a very special set of pennies to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Instead of the usual single design, 4 different reverse designs were introduced, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. This made the 2009 pennies unique in modern coin history. Among these, the Denver minted version, marked with a small d, has become especially interesting to collectors, not just because of its historical meaning but because of what it can be worth under the right conditions. At first glance, this coin may look completely ordinary. It has the familiar portrait of Lincoln on the front, something people have seen for decades. But when you turn it over, the design tells a deeper story, one connected to Lincoln's early life and humble beginnings. This storytelling aspect alone makes the coin meaningful, but collectors don't stop there. They look beyond the design and focus on details that most people would never even notice. The real value of this coin depends heavily on its condition. Coins that have never been circulated, meaning they have no wear, scratches, or damage from everyday use, are considered far more valuable. A shiny, well-preserved 2009 D penny can already be worth significantly more than its face value. But the real excitement begins when we talk about minting errors. During the production process, coins are sometimes struck incorrectly. These mistakes can include double die errors, where the design appears duplicated, or off-center strikes, where the image is not properly aligned. There can also be other subtle flaws that only experienced collectors or professionals can identify. These errors are rare, and rarity is one of the biggest factors that drives up a coin's value. Imagine holding a coin that looks slightly unusual, maybe the letters are doubled, or the design is just a bit off, and not realizing that this small imperfection could make it worth thousands of dollars. That's exactly what has happened to many people. Valuable coins often pass through hands unnoticed, spent on everyday items without a second thought. Collectors are constantly searching for coins like the 2009 D Lincoln penny, especially those in perfect condition or with rare errors. For them, it's not just about money, it's about the thrill of finding something rare, something that tells a story, and something that others have overlooked. Each coin becomes a piece of history, a small metal object carrying a legacy that connects the past to the present. Another reason this coin stands out is because 2009 was not an ordinary year for pennies. The fact that multiple designs were released created a sense of uniqueness and collectability. People began saving these coins, hoping they might become valuable in the future. And in some cases, they were absolutely right. The fascinating part is that coins like this can still be found today. They might be sitting in an old jar, hidden in a drawer, or even mixed in with your everyday change. Most people never take the time to check closely, but those who do sometimes make incredible discoveries. It only takes a moment to look, and that moment could change everything. Now, when we talk about value, this is where things become truly exciting. A 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D mint mark, especially in uncirculated condition and with the right kind of error, can reach an astonishing value of $43,000. If you have one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look and share it with us in the comments. We can help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you don't miss out on something that could be incredibly valuable. Top 2. What if the next penny you find in your pocket is not just spare change, but a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. It may sound hard to believe, but the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D mint mark has shocked collectors with its surprising value. In 2009, something very special happened in the world of coins. To honor the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the United States released a unique series of pennies unlike anything seen in years. Instead of one standard design, 4 different reverse designs were introduced, each representing a different chapter of Lincoln's life. This instantly made the 2009 pennies stand out, turning them into collectible pieces right from the moment they were released. Among these, the Denver-produced version, identified by the small D mint mark, has become particularly interesting. While millions of these coins were made, only a small number meet the conditions that collectors are truly searching for. And that's where the real story begins. At first glance, this coin doesn't look extraordinary. It carries the familiar image of Lincoln on the front, something people have seen for generations. But when you flip it over, the design reflects an important stage of his early life, connecting the coin to American history in a meaningful way. This alone gives it collectible appeal, but not necessarily high value. The real value depends on 2 critical factors: condition and errors. Coins that have never been used in circulation, those that remain in perfect, untouched condition, are always more valuable. A clean, sharp, and shiny 2009 D penny can already attract attention from collectors. But what truly pushes the value into the thousands is the presence of rare minting errors. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes happen. These can include doubled letters or numbers, slightly off-center designs, or other unusual features that make the coin different from the rest. These errors might seem like flaws, but in the world of coin collecting, they are actually what make a coin rare and highly desirable. Think about it, something that was never supposed to happen becomes the very reason a coin is worth so much. That's what makes error coins so exciting. Collectors are always searching for these rare pieces, and when they find one in excellent condition, they are willing to pay a premium price. What makes this even more fascinating is how easily these coins can go unnoticed. Many people don't pay attention to pennies. They toss them into jars, leave them in drawers, or spend them without a second thought. But hidden among those ordinary coins could be something truly valuable. The 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the D mint mark is a perfect example of how history, rarity, and a small minting mistake can turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. It's not just about money, it's about discovering something rare that most people overlook. And when it comes to value, this coin can reach an incredible price of $45,000. If you have one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can understand exactly what your coin is worth. Top 3. What if the penny you almost ignored today is actually worth a life-changing amount of money? It sounds impossible, but some of the most valuable coins in the world are the ones people overlook every single day, and the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark is one of them. In 2009, the United States did something very special to honor the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Instead of releasing just one standard penny design, 4 different reverse designs were introduced, each one representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. This made the 2009 series stand out immediately, turning ordinary pennies into historical collectibles. Now here's where things get interesting. Some of these 2009 pennies were produced without any mint mark. Normally, coins struck in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, and that might make them seem common at first glance. But not all of these coins are equal. Certain pieces, especially those in perfect condition or with rare striking errors, have become extremely desirable among collectors. At first look, this coin may not catch your attention. It has the familiar portrait of Lincoln on the front, something that has been part of American currency for generations. But the reverse design tells a story, one connected to Lincoln's journey and early life. This historical connection already adds to its appeal, but the real value lies deeper. Condition plays a huge role. If this coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in daily transactions and still holds its original shine and sharp details, its value increases significantly. Collectors are always searching for coins that look as fresh as the day they were minted. But the biggest factor that can turn this simple penny into a treasure is the presence of minting errors. During production, small mistakes sometimes occur. Letters might appear doubled, the design might be slightly off-center, or there could be other unusual features. These imperfections are rare, and rarity is what drives value in the coin collecting world. Imagine having a coin that looks slightly different from the rest and not realizing that this tiny difference could make it worth thousands. That's exactly what happens more often than you might think. Valuable coins are often spent without a second thought, simply because people don't know what to look for. The 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark is a perfect example of how something so small can carry both historical significance and incredible value. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history that could be sitting quietly in your collection, waiting to be discovered. And when it comes to its value, this coin can reach an astonishing $40,000. If you have one of these coins, don't overlook it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can truly understand what your coin might be worth. Top 4. What if a penny from the 1970s, something most people wouldn't even think twice about, could actually be worth thousands of dollars today? It might sound surprising, but the 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark has become one of those coins that collectors quietly search for. Back in 1978, millions of Lincoln pennies were produced, and at first glance, they all seemed completely ordinary. These coins featured the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use for many years. The version without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, which was standard for many coins of that time. Because of this, most people assume these pennies have no special value, but that's not always true. What makes this even more exciting is how easily these coins can be overlooked. Many people still have jars of old pennies at home, coins that have been sitting untouched for years. Among those coins could be a rare 1978 penny that no one has taken the time to examine closely. It only takes a careful look to spot something unusual, and that small discovery could turn into something big. The 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark is a perfect example of how an everyday coin can carry hidden value. It's not just about age or appearance, it's about rarity, condition, and those tiny details that most people miss. And when all the right factors come together, this coin can reach an impressive value of $38,000. If you have one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look and share it with us in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can fully understand what your coin might actually be worth. Top 5. What if a penny from 1981, something you might have seen countless times, could actually be worth more than a luxury car? It sounds unbelievable, but the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D mint mark has surprised collectors with its hidden potential. In 1981, the United States was still producing the classic Lincoln penny design that featured Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. These coins were used in everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand without much attention. The version with the D mint mark was struck in Denver, and millions of them were produced that year. Because of this, most people assume these coins are common and have no special value, but that assumption can be very misleading. The truth is, not all 1981 D pennies are the same. While many of them are ordinary, a small number stand out because of their condition and rare characteristics. Coins that have never been circulated, meaning they were never used and still maintain their original shine and detail, are much harder to find today. Over time, most coins get scratched, worn down, or damaged, so finding one in perfect condition decades later is extremely rare. Collectors are always searching for coins that look as if they were just minted yesterday. A flawless 1981 D penny, with sharp edges and no signs of wear, can already attract serious interest. But what truly takes the value to another level is the presence of minting errors. During the minting process, even the smallest mistake can create something unique. These errors might include doubled letters, where the text appears slightly repeated, or off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned. Sometimes, there are subtle variations that only experienced collectors can identify. These imperfections make the coin rare, and rarity is what drives value. It's fascinating to think that something considered a mistake at the time of production can later become the very reason a coin is worth thousands. That's the beauty of coin collecting. What most people see as an ordinary object can turn into a valuable piece of history when viewed through the right lens. Many of these coins are still out there today, sitting in old collections, jars, or even mixed in with everyday change. People often don't take a second look at pennies, which is why valuable coins continue to go unnoticed. All it takes is a careful inspection to discover something special. The 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the D mint mark is a perfect example of how age, condition, and small minting differences can turn a simple coin into a collector's item. It represents not just currency, but a piece of history that has traveled through time. And when everything aligns, the right condition, the right rarity, and possibly a unique error, this coin can reach an incredible value of $34,000. If you have one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can truly understand what your coin might be worth. Top 6. What if a penny from 1991, something you might have spent without even noticing, could actually be worth thousands of dollars today? It may sound surprising, but the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a D mint mark has quietly become a coin that collectors pay close attention to. In 1991, the Lincoln penny continued with its classic design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were part of everyday life, used in shops, saved in jars, and often ignored because of their low face value. The version with the D mint mark was produced in Denver, and just like many other pennies, it entered circulation in massive numbers. Because of this, most people believe these coins are extremely common and not worth more than 1 cent. But the reality is very different when you look deeper. Not every coin survives the passage of time in perfect condition, and not every coin is struck perfectly during production. That's where the hidden value begins. The condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. A 1991 D penny that has never been circulated, meaning it has no scratches, no wear, and still has its original shine, is much harder to find than people think. Over the years, most coins get damaged through daily use, so finding one in near-perfect condition decades later is a rare opportunity. But condition alone is only part of the story. The real excitement comes from minting errors. During the minting process, even a small mistake can turn an ordinary coin into something unique. These errors might include doubled letters, slight misalignment in the design, or other unusual features that set the coin apart from the rest. To most people, these might look like tiny imperfections. But to collectors, they are valuable clues, signs that the coin is rare. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything. The fewer coins that share the same feature or error, the more valuable they become. What makes this even more interesting is how easily these coins can be overlooked. Many people still have old pennies stored away, coins that haven't been checked in years. Among those coins could be a rare 1991 D penny that has been sitting unnoticed the entire time. It's a reminder that sometimes, valuable treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. The 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the D mint mark is a perfect example of how something small and simple can hold incredible value. It's not just about the year or the design, it's about the combination of condition, rarity, and those small details that most people never think to examine. And when all the right factors come together, this coin can reach a value of $29,000. If you have one of these coins, don't overlook it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can fully understand what your coin might actually be worth. Top 7. What if a coin from World War II era, something that passed through the hands of millions of Americans, could actually be worth more than a house today? That's exactly the kind of surprise hidden inside the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark. In 1944, during the final years of World War II, the United States was still producing the famous Lincoln wheat pennies. These coins are easily recognizable because of the wheat stalks on the reverse side, a design that was used before the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it in 1959. The 1944 version marked an important period in American history, as the country was transitioning out of wartime production and returning to normal economic life. The D mint mark on this coin indicates it was produced in Denver. Millions of 1944 D wheat pennies were made, and most of them entered regular circulation. People used them for everyday purchases without thinking twice, and many of these coins have survived in collections, old jars, and forgotten boxes. At first glance, this coin might not seem special. It looks like an ordinary copper penny with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and wheat stalks on the back. But the real value of this coin is not just in its design, it is in its rarity and condition. Coins that are found in uncirculated condition are always more valuable. These are coins that have never been used in daily transactions and still maintain their original mint shine. Over time, most coins get scratched, worn down, or damaged, which makes well-preserved examples much harder to find. However, what truly makes the 1944 D wheat penny exciting for collectors is the possibility of minting errors. During production, some coins were struck with mistakes such as doubling in letters or numbers, off-center designs, or unusual metal variations. These errors are extremely rare, and rarity is what drives value in the coin collecting world. In some cases, especially when a coin is in exceptional condition or has a significant mint error, collectors are willing to pay very high prices. This is because such coins are not just currency, they are historical artifacts that cannot be reproduced. It is also important to understand that many valuable coins go unnoticed every day. People often spend old pennies without realizing their potential worth. A coin like the 1944 D wheat penny could easily be sitting in an old collection or coin jar, waiting to be discovered. The combination of historical importance, rarity, and condition makes this coin highly desirable among collectors. It represents a piece of World War II-era history and the final phase of the wheat penny design before it was replaced. And when everything comes together, excellent condition, rarity, and possibly a rare error, this coin can reach a value of $85,000. If you have one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can fully understand what your coin might actually be worth. Top 8. What if a simple wheat penny from 1944, something produced during one of the most intense years in world history, could actually be worth as much as a luxury property today? It sounds unbelievable, but the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those coins that continues to surprise collectors. In 1944, the United States was still deeply involved in World War II. Even during this period, the U.S. Mint continued producing Lincoln wheat pennies, a design that had been in circulation since 1909. These coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the back, symbolizing prosperity and national strength. The version without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, which was standard practice for many coins of that era. At first glance, this coin may seem completely ordinary. It looks like a typical copper penny that has passed through millions of hands over the decades. But what makes it interesting is not just its appearance, it is the history it carries and the rarity it can develop depending on condition. The key factor that determines the value of a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is its condition. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, meaning they were used in everyday transactions, which caused wear, scratches, and loss of detail over time. However, a small number of these coins survived in uncirculated condition, preserved exactly as they were when minted. These coins are extremely rare today. Collectors place very high importance on coins that are in mint state. A 1944 penny that still has sharp details, original luster, and no signs of wear becomes significantly more valuable than a normal circulated example. The difference in condition alone can change a coin from something common into something highly desirable. Another major factor is the possibility of minting errors. During production, some coins were struck incorrectly, resulting in unique variations. These could include doubling of design elements, misaligned strikes, or other unusual features. Such errors make a coin stand out from the rest and increase its rarity, which is exactly what collectors look for. What makes this even more fascinating is how easily these coins can go unnoticed. Many people still have old coins stored away in boxes, drawers, or collections that have not been checked for years. A coin like the 1944 wheat penny might seem ordinary at first, but a closer inspection can sometimes reveal hidden value. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a physical connection to a major moment in world history. It represents an era when the United States was fighting in a global war, yet still maintaining everyday life through small things like pocket change. When condition, rarity, and potential errors come together, the value of this coin can rise dramatically. In the best possible cases, it becomes highly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay significant amounts for it. And under the right circumstances, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark can reach a value of $80,000. If you have one of these coins, don't overlook it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can fully understand what your coin might actually be worth. Top 9. What if a small wheat penny from 1945, something that once bought just a few everyday items, could now be worth as much as a brand new house? It may sound unbelievable, but the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those coins that continues to attract attention from collectors. In 1945, the world was coming to the end of World War II, and the United States was still producing the famous Lincoln wheat pennies. These coins carried the long-standing wheat stalk design on the back and Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front. The no-mint mark version was struck in Philadelphia, and millions of these coins entered circulation during that year. At first glance, this penny looks completely ordinary. Most people have seen similar coins countless times in old jars, piggy banks, or loose change. But what makes this coin interesting is not how common it was when it was made, it's how rare it can become over time depending on condition and unique characteristics. One of the most important factors that determines the value of the 1945 wheat penny is its condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated over the years usually show scratches, fading, and loss of detail. However, a small number of these pennies have survived in uncirculated or mint state condition. These are coins that were never used in daily transactions and still retain their original sharp details and shine. Finding one like this today is very difficult, which increases its value significantly. Another key factor is the possibility of minting errors. During the production process, some coins may have been struck incorrectly. These errors can include doubled letters, off-center strikes, or other unusual markings that make the coin unique. In the world of coin collecting, these imperfections are not seen as mistakes, they are seen as rare features that increase desirability. Collectors are always searching for coins that stand out from the rest. A 1945 wheat penny with a rare error or in exceptional condition becomes much more than just currency, it becomes a collectible piece of history. That's why such coins can sometimes reach surprisingly high values in the collector's market. What makes this even more interesting is how easily these coins can be overlooked. Many people still have old coins stored away without realizing their potential worth. A simple penny that looks normal at first glance might actually be something very special if examined closely. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny represents more than just money, it represents a moment in history when the world was changing rapidly. It carries the story of an era when even small coins were part of everyday survival and rebuilding. And when all the right factors come together, excellent condition, rarity, and possible errors, this coin can reach a value of $78,000. If you have one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can fully understand what your coin might actually be worth. Top 10. What if a coin from 1951, something that once passed through countless hands in everyday life, could now be worth as much as a luxury home? It may sound surprising, but the 1951 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those coins that collectors still search for today. In 1951, the United States continued producing the famous Lincoln wheat penny series, a design that had already been in circulation for decades. These coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and growth. The no-mint mark version was struck in Philadelphia, and like most pennies of that time, it was produced in large quantities and used in daily transactions across the country. At first glance, this coin appears completely ordinary. Most people would not think twice before spending it. However, what makes this penny interesting is not its appearance, but what it can become under the right conditions. The most important factor that affects the value of a 1951 wheat penny is its condition. Over time, most coins become worn out due to circulation, details fade, surfaces get scratched, and the original shine disappears. But a small number of these pennies have survived in uncirculated or mint condition. These coins were never used in everyday life and still maintain their sharp details and original mint luster. Finding one in this condition today is extremely rare. Another major factor is minting errors. During production, mistakes sometimes occur at the mint. These can include doubled letters, off-center strikes, or other unusual variations in the design. While these might seem like flaws, in the world of coin collecting they are actually valuable traits. Error coins are rare, and rarity is one of the biggest factors that determines a coin's value. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins that stand out from the rest. A 1951 wheat penny with a rare error or in exceptional condition becomes much more than just a piece of currency, it becomes a collectible piece of history. These coins represent a time when everyday money was made with care and precision, yet still carried the possibility of small and valuable mistakes. What makes this even more fascinating is how many of these coins still go unnoticed. People often keep old pennies in jars, drawers, or boxes without ever checking their details. A coin that looks normal at first glance might actually hold significant value if examined closely. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a perfect example of how ordinary objects can turn into something extraordinary over time. It represents not just money, but a connection to a different era in American history. And when all the right factors come together, excellent condition, rarity, and possible mint errors, this coin can reach a value of $69,000. If you have one of these coins, don't overlook it. Take a closer look and tell us about it in the comments. We will help you identify its details, check for possible errors, and guide you about its rarity and true value so you can fully understand what your coin might actually be worth.